Welcome to Hot Lap News, your weekly F1 fix. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a lap. While a silver arrow soared low over Montreal, reigniting the hopes of a sleeping giant, a red machine struggled, exposing not just a lack of performance, but deep cracks in its new team dynamics. Friday in Canada gave us the perfect snapshot of the 2025 season. On one side, a resurging Mercedes. On the other, a Ferrari in public crisis. And at the center of it all, Lewis Hamilton speaks out, revealing the power struggle he's facing behind closed doors at Maranello. Hey everyone, welcome back to Hot Lap News. And what a dramatic Friday we had in Canada. Today, we're diving deep into the two sides of the coin. Mercedes' optimism, with George Russell topping the day, but not without a scare in the steward's room. And on the flip side, Ferrari's chaos with crashes, lack of pace, and most tellingly, Lewis Hamilton's cryptic comments about his relationship with the engineers. For Ferrari, the weekend couldn't have started worse. In free practice 1, Charles Leclerc locked up into turn 3, slid across the grass, and had no way to avoid the barrier. The impact on the front left of the SF25 was enough for the team to confirm the worst-case scenario. The chassis had to be replaced. As a result, Leclerc missed the rest of FP1 and sat out the entire FP2 session, the most crucial one for race and qualifying simulations. He'll go into Saturday almost blind. To make matters worse, Hamilton's car on track had zero pace. He ended FP2 in a distant 8th, confirming that the SF25's problems are not track-specific, they're systemic. It's in this context of crisis that Hamilton's words to Sky Sports become especially fascinating. Publicly, he maintains a champion's posture, saying, "I don't feel like I'm desperate for a good result. From the outside, things look much worse than they actually are on the inside." It's the media shield you expect from a leader. But then he opens a window into what's really going on at Maranello. Hamilton revealed there's a real culture clash between him and his new engineers. He said, and I quote, "The way they set up the car compared to any other year I've been in F1 is completely different." He continues, "I have discussions with the engineers to change things. They have a certain way they like to work, and I say, hold on a second, this actually doesn't make sense. This is what I've done for the last 18 years, and it's worked in most of them." That, my friends, is a bombshell. He's not talking about fine-tuning a setup. He's describing a philosophical conflict. On one side, Ferrari's established methodology. On the other, the empirical experience of a 7-time world champion who is essentially saying the team's processes are wrong. It confirms all the theories about his difficult adaptation and the battle to have his voice heard. Hamilton isn't just fighting the clock, he's fighting the inertia of Maranello. Meanwhile, on the other side of the spectrum, Mercedes had its best day of the year. The circuit Gilles-Villeneuve seemed tailor-made for the W15. The cooler temperatures, long straights, and heavy braking zones minimized its weaknesses and played to its strengths. The result? In FP2, George Russell set the fastest time, placing Mercedes as a real, and surprising, contender not just for a podium, but possibly for pole position. It was a glimpse of the team's former dominance, a breath of hope for a team that struggled in recent years. But Mercedes didn't escape the day without a scare. After the session, Russell was summoned to the steward's office. The reason? A breach of the event notes. Item 17.3 in the Canadian GP notes is clear. Any driver who misses turn 13 and crosses to the left of the orange curb must stay completely left of the orange line in the runoff area and only rejoin the track at the very end of that area. Late in FP2, with fresh tires, Russell lost the rear at turn 13, went off track, and in avoiding the wall, cut across the orange line improperly. In the steward's room, Russell and the team explained that his sole focus was keeping the car out of the wall, and he realized immediately that he had cut the line incorrectly. The verdict? A warning. The stewards ruled the move wasn't dangerous, no other car was affected, and Russell's admission and apology were mitigating factors. The decision was consistent with similar infractions in practice sessions. Russell avoided a more serious penalty, a relief for the team that ended the day on top. Friday in Canada painted a portrait of contrasts. Ferrari's crisis seems structural, a power struggle between a legendary driver and the methods of his new team. Leclerc's lost track time is a huge blow, and Hamilton's lack of pace signals that there are no quick fixes. At Mercedes, the issue was procedural, a minor error from a driver on the limit, resulting in a minimal penalty. The overall feeling is of a team on the rise, confident, and finally unlocking the sweet spot of their car. What does this mean for today's qualifying? Mercedes heads in as the favorite. The big question is, can they maintain that performance when the engines are cranked up to full power? Ferrari, on the other hand, is in damage control mode. Leclerc faces a massive challenge to learn the track and find a setup in FP3. For Hamilton, The battle will be to find a car balance with his engineers that gives him the confidence he clearly lacked on Friday. In short, Friday in Canada left us with more questions than answers, setting the stage for a Saturday that promises to be electric. On one side, Mercedes' euphoria and optimism. On the other, Ferrari's crisis and introspection. Now, I want to hear your predictions. Do you think Mercedes will confirm their status as favorites and fight for pole position? And will Ferrari manage to recover from Friday's chaos? Or will we see Hamilton and Leclerc struggling to make it into Q3? Drop your takes and predictions in the comments. If you enjoyed this in-depth breakdown of the day in Montreal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.